What's stopping you in learning languages? Hello guys, welcome to my new video in Language Talking series. In this series, I'm sharing with you my personal adventure, how I learn languages, and I also want to give you some tips about how to learn languages efficiently. And this episode is all about three very important things that are maybe stopping you in achieving a success in a language. And I observe this not only on my case, but also on cases of my students. So people who come to me and they are sometimes, very, very sad about the state of the English, Polish, German or something, because something has happened and they can't, their language abilities, they just stopped. They don't develop the language. And I found out that there are three very important things that are stopping them, and which we usually don't consider obstacles in a way to learn language. Usually we think about this like problems with learning vocabulary, problems with understanding grammar, but this is something different. This is sometimes maybe something deeper. So let's go on. Number one. First thing is being interested, but not only in the language. People who are more interested in different things like biology, astronomy, history, and all this stuff, they are they have more knowledge, and they find learning a language easier. Because when you have a text about history, something about history, let's say, they are immediately interested in this text. If you have no interest, any text, any podcast you're going to listen, like a real one, is going to be like meh for you. Because there would be nothing interesting for you. You have no interest for crazy things or standard things. So what are you going to do? Personally, I experienced this so many things. When I was interested in something, my attention towards the text that I read, listened, was much bigger. And I remember just a few days ago, I was just before a Spanish lesson. So I was preparing some Spanish, but then I thought, okay, I have some more time, so I'll just listen or watch some videos about how to make podcasts, because I'm also making podcasts about for Polish learners. So I went to YouTube, I typed in how to make podcasts or something like this, and started watching, but after a minute it was like, why am I watching in English? I have a Spanish lesson. Well, on the other hand, it was like, this devil here, this angel and devil. And this voice came to me about, Spanish is, you're still not fluent in Spanish, so maybe better and easier and faster would be to do it in English. And I said, no, let's give it a try. And I tried, and I really understood a lot, and I was totally into this podcast, into this video, because I wanted to learn about podcasts. So really, if you are interested in something, then you do it in the language, and it opens everything. So it just, all these obstacles, all these thoughts that, oh my god, I'm not going to understand this, they just disappear sometimes, and you understand the text. So this is one thing, be interested in something. So second thing is also not only connected with languages, but this is near connection. This is what usually is talked about when we talk about errors, mistakes. Yes, you can make you don't have to speak perfectly. Yes, you can make mistakes, no problem. But this is something more. Be relaxed during those lessons that you take, during your learning process. We sometimes are so tense. So I see some of my students, their motivation is so strong. They really want to learn the language they're learning, and they're so tense. Their brain is so I don't know, and I can't describe this state, but you I think you get what I mean. And it creates like a blockade. there is some kind of wall built of this tension, and nothing gets through this wall. So relax. You know, some kind of maybe relaxation exercises. The internet is full of them. Like, try to breathe. Maybe it's stupid, but who cares? Man, this is your language. If this 5 seconds, maybe 1 minute of being stupid before each lesson when no one is looking at you is going to make you, learn better, I think it's worth it. It's really, really worth it. So don't be so tense. Don't be so stressed out. Just give it a go and let the stream of language flow into your hand. The third thing is mostly connected to language. It's something like losing interest in the learning process itself. Especially, there are some people who start with very strong motivation, big enthusiasm, and then it dies. And this is the moment when they keep on coming to lessons. Sometimes they keep on learning, but the interest is not very good. Or there is something like, someone was learning, and then it's like being tired of it. Oh, maybe this is better. You are tired of learning. And this is the best moment, which is the moment to change something in the way you learn. Just don't keep, a routine that goes on and on and on and on, and could be quite boring. Yes, it can get boring if you just repeat the same thing. That's why I don't like apps for learning vocabulary. I find them boring. It's like, clicking and doing those exercises on my phone. Handy is German. So that's why I prefer to read something or watch something that's like interesting for me in that moment. This is how I expand my language skills. I prefer to do different things, to mix the methods. Of course, there are people who are super, you can find those tips and advice on the internet. People who are superb, recommending one method. Just go through this and you'll get that. Maybe you are this kind of person, but maybe you are a kind of person that gets tired of repeatedly doing the same thing. So just be a kind of explorer. Find things that are different, that are new for you. So try to break the routine, because this is the thing that stops motivation. So, you have this high motivation at the beginning and then it dies, because it turns out that the language adventure that was, advertised as the best thing in the world, it's a boring routine. So if you get into this system, you can start thinking like this, which is not true, but you have to also do your part of exploring and finding things. Or maybe you are tired, and then this is also a good way. Change something, do something. Take a language holidays. No one tells you that you have to do the same thing all the time. Maybe you need 2 weeks just off the course. If you have a private tutor, that is usually possible to do. So you just take 2 weeks or a week. Like you don't have lessons during this week. You maybe just watch films, read books, or do something different. Then you go back to the course fresh and new, because your brain sometimes gets so much information that it needs time to digest it. It's like, oh my gosh, you're learning grammar and everything, and then you need some time. Yeah, that your brain organizes all of this stuff inside. Okay. And that would be these 3 things. So, things about learning languages. So, get interested in something. Do those things in the language. So, it's not just learning language for language, but learning language for other things. So, this is the first tip. The second tip is to get relaxed and just, be more easygoing with the whole language process. And the third one is, maybe connected with the second. Sometimes you need to change something. So be an explorer in your language learning. And that's all. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that I helped you to solve some of your problems. Look carefully at yourself, at your language learning process. Maybe some of the things that I described happened in your learning, and just try to change it. Try to do something new, and you will see the results. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you like the video, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it if you like, to stay updated with all the new stuff that I do. Thank you. Bye bye. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. This will really help me a lot. Find me also on other social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Mind, and many others. Let's keep in touch. See you next time.